Hello and welcome to I'll Do the Talking, the wedding podcast that gives you all the tips, hints and how-tos about your wedding day to make it truly unforgettable.
My daughter Caitlin is a wedding content creator.
And my dad George is a humanist wedding celebrant.
And on this episode we're talking all things magic, mischief and masterpieces created during the drinks reception part of your wedding day.
Helping us to do that today, we've got the wonderful Cameron Young, Scottish magician, and Mark Young, no relation, by the way, just really weird coincidence. Geeky Ink Caricatures. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming along today.
Thank you for having us. Thanks for having us, yeah.
And just to give you, dedefinitely are not related.
Well, I don't know, we'd have to do a family tree thing.
Like a DNA test or something.
Clan Young.
Possibly. As you both know, I am a wedding celebrant.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the little traditions we have on the podcast is that we would love you to take your I'll do the talking vows.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Might have been a while ago when you took your wedding vows, but these are the podcast vows. So we have these prepared for you.
Excellent.
So if I could pass that to Cameron for us. And this is for you, Mark. So maybe start with Mark first, if you can take your I'll do the talking vows.
Okay. I, Mark Young, caricaturist, solemnly swear on this podcast mic to draw out the laughs, to sketch the BTS magic of weddings, and capture every geeky moment, while Caitlin and George keep me between the margins. I'll do the talking.
Hey, welcome.
I'm so glad there was no puns in that.
No, we're not a pun-heavy show. We don't like that.
Definitely don't use puns in this.
No, not at all.
Nah, we don't really like fans of puns, but yes.
I wasn't sure whether or not that BTS, I was supposed to know what that BTS stood for.
I was waiting on your dramatic voice. Aye.
Over you. So you're allowed to continue the podcast, Mark.
Thank
you so much for taking your vows. A memento of the occasion. Yeah. Over to you, Cameron.
I, Cameron Young magician, solemnly swear on this podcast mic to conjure up wedding wisdom to make awkward silences disappear, and with Caitlin and George pulling questions out their hat, I'll do the talking.
Yes, welcome.
I would just want to say that my dad, George, is the one who actually prepares them, so this is a treat for me.
You can tell.
Every time I'm like, what is this going to be?
She hasn't heard
I don't like hearing them beforehand.
Just a little thing, like it was surprised that we have in each other.
Chuckle to yourself when you were doing them.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a nice way of welcoming our guests on today.
I've never seen it done before like that. It's good.
So welcome.
So Cameron, tell us a little bit then about what brought you to the wedding industry. How did that journey start?
I never planned on being in the wedding industry whatsoever. So I've been doing this for, I think 2015 was my first ever wedding. So it's been a while, it's been 10 years. And so I've always been passionate about magic tricks, magician. You know how like you say like Tiger Woods, even though he works the hardest, he was naturally golf. You have to have natural ability. So when I was a kid, I tried everything. Football, golf, badminton, basketball. Like I literally was one of these people that would do anything. It would be canoeing. It would be... My mum and dad hated me for this. Every weekend, something new. And my dad was a magician before I was born. And he was a kids entertainer. So he didn't have the confidence to speak to the adults, but I've always kind of had that. So I watched the magician on a show called Penn and Teller, and he could cheat at cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's more like it. So my dad never really taught me anything. He didn't want to do it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a deck of cards. And I actually think I've put the hours in. Over the years, I've put in so many hours. But what I've realised is I'm naturally good, like fairly quite good at this.
Yeah.
And then in 2015, after doing the odd stage show or that, I got asked by a lady that I know that owns this big salon, beauty salon, if I could do her wedding. And I said, yeah, of course. So I went and done that wedding. And the reactions were like, obviously it's 7 o'clock at night on a wedding day. This is my first wedding. Now I tend to do different time slots that I know what works over after I'm now done. I'm just about to hit my 2000th wedding.
Wow.
So I'm not joking. The reactions were like nothing else. Like people were freaking out. And I think it's because it's not your family that are watching you all the time. And it's not people that are maybe judging you for being a magician at school. It was like, these are the people that are having a few drinks, they're in a good area, they've just seen their friends get married, they're about 5 or 6 pints down the road.
Yep.
And honestly, I had the best time ever. And I went, this is what I want to do. So I went off to America, done some work over there, and when I came back, I had two options. One was travel America with the money I just made, or two was to start a company and invest in wedding fairs and other things, and I decided to go for option two, and I've been doing it ever since.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's good
Well,
fun.
you can definitely tell with the reactions and social media posts that you put up that
It seems to be going.
that grabs people. Like it's the first time they've seen that, so they kind of just so wowed by it. And they're in a great mood anyway as well. We get people at the right time. And Mark, your journey as well. Just tell us about what's brought you to being a caricaturist.
I was going to say very similar, but not really.
You didn't do the America thing?
I didn't do the America thing. Well, on holiday, but that's about it. Probably the same as Cameron. Didn't plan on it, but drawing is something I've always enjoyed doing. I suppose when I was at like parties and stuff like that, I always liked to have the laugh, and I always thought myself as an entertainer at the parties and going and stuff. So drawing all the way through that and enjoying drawing and taking the mick out of people while drawing. I thought, well, I might as well just put the two of them together. But I never really planned to like go and do weddings and go and do it publicly and charge money for it and go out and do it in front of people. Sometimes as an artist, you can be a wee bit, I don't like people watching you draw. So probably one of my main fears was drawing in front of people. So that probably always put me off from doing it publicly, but really enjoyed just doing it studio work. And that's how I started off, by just doing it on my studio. I say my studio, I mean my bedroom at home. And I would sit and either draw on my iPad, do it digitally, or just draw on paper and do it from photographs. But actually, only a year ago is when I started doing the live caricatures at weddings. So it was actually just last week would have been my little year anniversary. My first one.
Right.
So after doing that one, just to try it out, absolutely loved it. I think just being able to just bring a bit of laughter and a bit of fun and thingy to wedding receptions and just stuff like that. It's not as good as your story. That's like I'm listening to yours going, that's a great journey. And then
but I think
I like drawing pictures and then making people laugh.
The similarities are a natural talent, the Tiger Woods story, and you done it as a kid type of thing. So
I mean, I suppose from being really knowing. I don't know if you sometimes have a natural talent at drawing, but I've always been great at doing it. I've always been good at just learning how to draw and doing it. And like family members and friends saying, I should really do that
do something with it.
Yeah, you should do something with it. And I'm like, yeah. But it's taken the brave jump in actually doing it and thinking your stuff's not worth anything. You know, it's good to you, but you don't think anyone thinks it's any good, and then people start liking it and start and that itself gives you a good motivation. So there's nothing better than when you're sitting drawing, and sometimes I can be drawing the person sitting in front, but unbeknownst to me, there's about 15 or 20 people standing behind me, all watching me draw, rather than actually watching the person, and that's the second part of the caricature.
The end bit, the reveal, isn't it? Like the tricks, the reveal, the end bit.
Yeah, I mean, some people think a caricature artist is just sitting there and just drawing you at the wedding, but part of it is like you yourself is getting a bit of entertainment because you're having a bit of banter with you, and you're getting a drawing at the end of it, so you can keep that, and it's a memory for the day. But not only that, there's loads of people standing behind watching it and getting entertained, and you can have a bit of a banter with them, and you know, I enjoy that interaction with people. So it's not only just doing it as a job; it's doing something you enjoy and getting a bit of buzz out of it.
We were looking at a report recently. It was from Hitched, wasn't it?
Yep.
Hitched. If you're on the website .co.uk, and they do this once a year wedding industry report, canvas couples all over the UK and the likes. And I'm going to do an episode on that soon. But there was a stat, wasn't there, Caitlin, on that?
Yep. When people are planning their weddings, 79% of couples are planning their day based off of their guest entertainment and enjoyment, of being like very much one of the key things that they're thinking about during the day. You know, obviously there is the points where at the drinks reception, just after they're away, they're not actually interacting with them. So what is keeping people actually entertained? Because they need to remember people are getting ready from so early, and they have to be there really late at night. Sometimes it spans across
long day.
more than one day also. So how do they actually keep people intrigued and keep the spirits high throughout the day?
Stop the lulls.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
I've
there's-
now had 19 couples book me before their venue.
Right.
I keep a tally of it. So
Oh, wow.
19. So yesterday I actually got that. Just reminded me because yesterday one of my couples actually messaged me to tell me what venue they booked.
Right.
So like some of these couples know what date they're getting married. Like that for some reason, maybe it's an anniversary
Yeah.
or it's just
Special
that's what
date.
they're choosing.
Yeah.
And the book that they say, right, we're going to get married on this day, and I'll say, right, it is available, but you just never know. But especially with this industry of last week, someone messaged me on the Monday. By the Tuesday, it was gone when they came back to ask to take it. You just never know.
Yeah.
And they went, right, we just want to book you in. We want you this package. It'll be somewhere in Glasgow. And that's all you get told.
That's good enough of you. That
And I'm like,
point,
that's
isn't it?
fine, that's fine. I don't need to know till like the day before, really, where I'm going. But and they were like, no, that's fine. And then yesterday they messaged me, right, that's us now confirmed. Can you put this in the diary? And they went for a good one. They went for a good one of my favourites. So it's
Oh,
good.
good.
So
Amazing.
but that's I believe that. I believe that a lot.
I know that as a celebrant, when I've done the ceremony and I see like the likes of you guys and like setting up or getting ready to do your bits and stuff like that, what I start to see as I'm leaving is the stuff you talked about, Mark, the intrigue, the guests starting to wonder, oh, what's happening
going
over
on?
there?
Yep.
Type of thing, and that really resonated with me.
I love it when you've turned up somewhere and nobody knows that's what they've booked.
Oh, we surprised, yeah.
So it's like, and you hear them walking past, you're pulling up your big banner and you're setting up the table and you see people walk by going, I don't know what's going on. It's not until you maybe put up the banner, they go, oh, it's caricatures. It's that bit of, that's what's happening. Because, I mean, and we've all been to weddings, we've all been to weddings and drink receptions where I actually can't actually think of a wedding drinks reception I've been to that they actually had anything on. So that's I don't remember any of them. I just remember the evening reception where maybe they've had one of those stupid photo booths where you get to dress up and put stupid things on and stuff like that. You remember that, but I don't remember the drinks receptions.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a wee bit of kind of memory thing, you know what I mean? Is that have a wedding and I know that when we had our wedding, I was wanting to book loads of stuff like falconry displays and I don't know, magicians and fireworks and all that kind of stuff, and obviously there was a budget to stick to and a bit of reality that my wife said, no, you're not getting that. But I wanted to get stuff because I wanted people to enjoy themselves. I wanted to have a good time and remember it. So there is a wee bit of not keeping up with the Joneses, but you want to probably best the last wedding you were at just to make sure you know people remember your wedding.
The list is endless. Actually, we grabbed a note of the endless list of entertainment, and it goes from singing waiters, live bands, tribute acts, roaming musicians and magicians, DJs, silent discos, mobile bars, food trucks, magic mirrors, 360 mirrors, circus performers, fire dancers.
Yeah.
And that was just my wedding.
You're not joking.
Well, talking to that, people booking you as a surprise. Caitlin?
So Cameron did come along to my wedding as a surprise. We actually met you in Edinburgh at a wedding fair, and me and my husband stood in the hall for about an hour and a half after meeting you going, we have to, like, he has to be involved in some way. And we were like, right, okay, how is this? Come on, like, we need to book him. And we came away from the day and just kept thinking, no, because my husband was just absolutely obsessed to anything. He wasn't bothered about much else, but every time we saw a magician, he was like, wow. And he just kept talking about you. And I was like, do you want to go marry him instead? Like, let Cameron go. And then,
by the way,
unbeknownst
you're doing
to
Callum
me,
an injustice here, by the way, because he's a very detailed, analytical guy.
I mean, to be fair, he was a
So
lot
he
more
was more
involved than a
involved than
lot,
just turning
lot
up.
of people. And then my mum had said to me, I've organised something, but I think it'll be more for Callum's entertainment. And I just knew in my head, I was like, they've booked Cameron and I'm just going to shut up from there, and I know that that's happening. I'm not going to press it, I just know it's him. I know it. Turned up on the day and she just looked at me and gave me the side eye and was like, guess who's in that room through there.
Exactly.
Unbeknownst to me that you were obviously there before the ceremony, and then got to do some tricks for us after, which was amazing.
Hi, I'm Mark Young from Geeky Ink Caricatures.
And I'm Cameron Young from Cameron Young Magic.
And today we have been sponsoring I'll Do the Talking.
So go ahead, help George and Caitlin out. Get the likes, get the shares, get the comments going, because this podcast is amazing and it's going to help you in the wedding industry.
Yeah, so mate, when we were talking to you, Cameron, of course, we wanted you to do I don't know how often you do that, but
was
we
my
got you
only
to
ever
do
one.
the only ever one.
Out of the 2,000 weddings, it's my only one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I feel
Well.
quite good at that, actually. Yeah. So being a wedding celebrant, I always see that point where there was something missing before the ceremony as you were waiting on the bride arriving.
Right.
And the guests were then sat down. So maybe you could just tell listeners
So
what
yeah,
happened.
when we had a chat at the SEC Wedding Fair, the Scottish Wedding Exhibition, we decided that I was going to do a little show for all the guests as they were sitting down, because you were doing a first look.
Yeah.
So when you do the first look, obviously that's when the bride and groom meet each other for the first time, so you know what you're expecting, basically, so the groom doesn't burst into tears in front of all his family as you walk down the aisle. Yeah, I've done some tricks. It was great fun. They're obviously all wedding related, or as close to as I can, keeping everyone entertained. But it always goes down well. And then on the other side of things, say for example, it wasn't doing that. If it was a drinks reception, the difference is, like with yourself, you were saying like you pull up a banner and then everyone knows, oh, there's a caricaturist there with me.
Yep.
I'm just a guy walking about.
Yeah.
So they don't actually know I'm there until
Aye,
someone screams.
yeah.
And it's
What,
quite
you're not wearing a
it's
wee top hat and
nothing like that.
No
No.
one, no.
And there's just bunnies following him. It's like, pulled him out my hat earlier.
So until I do that first Dynamo style trick where someone's screaming, nobody actually knows I'm about
Aye.
until
You're essentially dressed as a
I
guest.
dressed as a
Yeah,
guest,
good
which is
point.
pretty
But
cool.
what was even better with you doing that kind of pre-show type of thing is, because Caitlin had a wee little faux pas with her dress. So one thing I was also obsessed with is not being late. I didn't want the industry friends saying, you moan about brides being late all the time and you were late with your own daughter. We weren't that late, maybe 5 minutes or something like that.
5 minutes. Did have
but there was a wee thing with the dress that kind of delayed us slightly.
Yeah, just got fresh lipstick on and sat down in the car, and my dress came up and fresh lipstick straight on, and just looked down and was like, that's bang in the middle of my dress. Luckily I had a fabulous dresser.
Yeah, big shout out to Lindsay from
yeah.
Don't Stress the Dress.
She managed to get the stain out and nobody would ever know that I just had fresh lipstick on my dress. So thank you, Lindsay, for saving the day.
But in our heads we were thinking, well, you didn't know about it, but I was thinking, that's cool. We've got Cameron over there anyway. He's keeping the guests entertained.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun.
So that's not a typical drinks reception, the pre-bit. Well, one in 2000. But so maybe talk us through what is a typical drinks reception. When do you
So,
arrive and when do you
Obviously, I
leave?
know this podcast is mainly talking about drinks receptions, but I do 3 things.
Right,
The
yeah.
3 things that I do are, the first thing is your drinks reception. So that is the
Right.
moment that you're married, after you've had your group photo or your maybe confetti shot. I'll entertain all your guests, usually from about 90 minutes to 2 hours until the drinks reception is over. And that's when everyone's seated for speeches / wedding breakfast.
Yeah.
So that's the first part. The second part is I've just come officially qualified, but I've now done maybe 200 unqualified, because you don't need to be qualified to do this bit,
Right.
hosting of speeches, master ceremonies.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've
Wow.
been doing that for quite a while. I've been doing that maybe for the past year.
Right.
And most couples that book me decide to upgrade to that option anyway, where instead of just getting a random member of staff that no one's met to host the speeches, I'll do it. I introduce the top table, newlyweds into the room,
Yeah.
introduce each individual speech, and then I finish off with a trick that I'll show you guys in a bit.
Okay.
Very excited.
And then I also do evening magic. So like today, after this podcast, I'm away to one venue to do drinks reception and hosting of speeches.
Yeah.
And then I'm away to another venue to do evening magic. So
Right.
it just depends. But the
Depends.
evening magic tends to be like the end of your meal through to your first dance. So they're
Right.
the kind of time slots that I
Yeah.
tend to do.
Again, there's a little bit of a turnaround
It's
moment.
the
there,
lulls.
isn't there,
I
or
call it the
something?
lulls.
Yeah.
There's 3 lulls in the day. One's your drinks reception, 2's the evening reception, and 1's in between the courses of the meal.
Yeah.
I sometimes do that too, where the bride and groom have got loads and loads and loads of guests. They're very popular. They've got so many friends here that they want me to do their drinks reception, host their speeches, and go around all the tables. But I don't do that as much, because at that bit I'm usually driving between 2 different
I really
weddings.
like the idea of the kind of master of ceremonies thing,
good fun.
because the couples already and the guests already know who this guy is.
yeah.
That's
It's,
exciting.
it's
that.
a really
Yeah.
interesting point of view to do it, and then love that you do a trick at the end just to banish it off.
And
My final
It goes down so
final
well,
one
this
is
trick.
disappearing. Thank you. Bye.
I'll do the talking here. Weddings aren't all as perfect as they look on Instagram, but with the right tips and advice, they can be pretty amazing.
We're George and Caitlin, a father and daughter team that know weddings inside out. My dad's a humanist wedding celebrant known as George the Humanist.
And Caitlin's a wedding content creator from her business, Insta Love Story, who, in 2022, I had the honour of walking her down the aisle and then marrying her off.
On each episode of I'll Do the Talking, we're sharing real wedding advice and chatting to industry guests to help plan the day that's right for you.
From ceremonies, gestures and traditions, from flowers, photos, food and family dramas, we'll walk you through it all.
So if you're planning your big day or just love a good wedding story, hit subscribe and join us down the aisle and beyond.
That'll be cloud bomb.
Yeah.
The funny bit is, right, so what I've started doing, and this is just again from experience, is I'll walk around every group, and then at the very end of every group I say, hi guys, my name's been Cammy, thanks if you did enjoy me, check me out on Instagram, The Scottish Magician. By the way, I'm your host today as well, right, so I'm going to be doing the master ceremonies. What that basically means is I'm introducing the speeches, and what that also means is, if any of you didn't play along, I will pick on you. And I never have to pick on anybody.
No, of course
But
not.
I say that and I look at them. So see if there's someone, I always get everyone standing with the napkin swinging.
Yeah.
So when everyone's standing with the napkins, if one person's not there, I just look at them. And then before you know it, the napkin's swinging. So I tell the bride and groom this and they're wetting themselves. I never pick on them. I'll never point them out, but I just say to them, I might pick on you.
But these are also the gold bits that you'd capture as a content creator as well, and you probably have done.
Those are the reactions and actually seeing everybody, get involved with it. And people don't realise, it doesn't matter what age you are, it's exciting something happening. Like seeing magic or seeing, art come to life in front of you is so exciting. So capturing those facial reactions is one of my favourite parts. I love getting to see what other people are doing.
Well, it's like recently, because sometimes maybe I get to see that person reacting. I don't get to see everybody else. Yeah. And it's sometimes good to get a hold of or see the content that some of the weddings do. And I get to see it as well. And just like you mentioned earlier with Jordan and Danielle's wedding.
Yes, aye.
Again, I never got to see a lot of the reactions from all the wee small ones that I did for all the place.
Tell us a wee bit
cards.
about that, because I seen your Instagram post on it, and it just really captured my attention.
So that was about, I must have been about a year ago. Danny, or Danielle, Danny, she got in contact wanting to do caricatures of all our guests at the tables. So rather than having
as a place setting
so rather
holder.
than having live stuff done later on for the place cards as a what do you call it?
Favour?
Favour. A favour.
A modern day favour.
A favour, as well as something for them, a bit of laughter. She wanted all of them done, so I think it started off about 120 guests.
It's a big wedding,
I think by the end of it was about 140. Wow. So all done for photograph, and she would just send me I think we arranged it to be in groups of 25. So send me 25 photos.
So you weren't too scared.
I'll do them. And they were all digital, so I did them all on my iPad. I would sit and sketch and then just do them full colour, and then got them all printed off. I think they're about. I brought a few just as an example to show, but they were about that size. I'll show you them.
Well, the post I seen was of the guests going in for dinner.
Yeah, so that's...
And then it's the first time they seen their place setting.
Yeah, actually seeing
and
it.
And the reactions were incredible,
Yeah, so it's something like that. You know, just like wee ones with their names.
Yeah.
And they could be... I mean, there were sometimes either like that, like with the big giant forehead and stuff.
Well, I think that's what you do as a caricaturist.
Yeah, I mean...
We've not accentuated my nose, by the way, in our picture.
And the good thing is that she was quite... I mean, normally... If I do my private commission stuff, it would be you order the commission, I'll do rough sketches, send it to you, you then come back to me and say, yes, okay, we'll maybe make some changes. So there's a bit of kind of to and forward. And then we go into the final drawing and then it's all done. She basically sent me the photographs, left to it, and trusted me to do it from start to finish.
There'd have a lot of proof checking if you were to send it back and forth.
And it was good. I mean, so going back to just being able to see the reactions, it was her photographer had... put together a sort of slideshow of the whole day. There was actually ones of them at the tables and seeing them all, and there was a video. So it was great to see that, and that's the kind of things that makes you actually that makes your job worthwhile. Because sometimes you do a commission, you send it off to somebody, and they say, "Oh, great, amazing," and that's it. So you don't see the other side of it, but to see them reacting to it, and that really changed the day, you know what I mean? So if I think about what that day would have been like without that, it would have been a good wedding. But just to know that added that wee bit extra laughter and fun, and
Well,
that
it's
probably
similar
lasted the
actually
whole day.
with our craft, I guess, because when I send a script to a couple to read for the first time, their ceremony, you're kind of anticipating a wee message back to say, yeah, thumbs up, that was great, and what have you. But I was blown away yesterday, actually. One of my couples put a TikTok on of them with their MacBook open, reading their first draft for the first time.
Yeah.
And I actually choked up. It was so sweet to see the reactions
Nice.
and they were just looking at each other, smiling at each other, a wee peck in the cheek. Oh, it was just amazing. And you're the same when you're sending your content across to couples the next morning.
Usually, when I'm sending them stuff, because it's within 24 hours, I'm sending it in the morning, and in my head, I know that they're not probably checking out to the hotel room until 11. Now, are they even able to open their eyes until 10 to 11? And then they go, crap, we need to get out of here. And then by that point, they're meeting family. They're probably going out for, maybe a bite to eat. So sometimes it's not until they're like actually back home. And I just stare at those like wee texts are delivered and go, come on, just open it and tell me that you've had a look at it.
Well, it's the same after I've done a wedding, and sometimes if it's the drinks reception, very rarely do I get to even meet the bride and groom, because by the time I've set up, it's usually during the ceremony when it's happening, and then when that ceremony finishes, they are straight out to photographs, and then they're spending the whole time doing that while I'm drawing, and then dinner's called, and then off they go. So there's sometimes I don't even get to meet the bride and groom, and it's a bit of you feel a bit kind of let down because you don't get to see them and say hi, or you try and make a point, but you're there for that period of time just to sit.
For
you're in the
setup,
same place, so
yeah.
For your setup, Mark, unlike yours, Cammy, you're roving around, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're in one fixed place. Do you know where that place is? And tell us a wee bit about your kind of setup. When do you arrive? When do you leave? And all the bits in the middle.
Sometimes it can just depend whether or not I've been there before or not. So if I've been there before, so like recently Brigadoon Hotel, so I've been there about 3 times. So I know the
layout now.
The bar where they normally go. That's where the
Okay.
drink reception is. So when I turn up, that's where I'm going. So first time I go to somewhere, I generally try to be there about 30 minutes beforehand, because maybe don't know exactly where I'm going. They'll have an idea because it might be pre-arranged already with the bride and groom, and they've checked with the hotel. But sometimes I've turned up, and where they've thought it's been okay, I've kind of went, no, that's not enough room, or it's not great for light, or it's too close to the toilet door. Where I put me one time, and I was like, I don't really want to be sitting beside the toilet door, thanks very much. So generally half an hour beforehand, because then that gives me enough time to scout out the place, get set up, get myself a pint of water, table, and then that's me kind of ready.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time everything's running late, so I get there early enough. I think I'm too early, but I get there early enough so I'm all set up, so I'm ready. And that tends to be another flipping 15-20 minutes of waiting. There was one I did not that long ago at the Gales Hotel, and I get set up in this was the one near the toilet, to be honest, but I got away further away from it. But where I was set up, no problem at all. Set up there, ceremony I thought had already started, so I'm nice and early. It's great. The next minute, the bride, and who I thought was the groom, was walking down down the corridor where I was. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, congratulations. Da, 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 da. And then, so I thought, was that you guys just finished? I was like, no, we're just on our way to the ceremony now. This is my dad. So I thought that was a groom bit. So I'm thinking, no problem at all. I've seen when you come out thinking, right, well, I'm now going to be sitting here for another, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes. Which sometimes happens, but
deal with delays.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think anything runs on time.
No.
Did they get lipstick on the dress too?
Maybe. Listen.
Thanks very much for coming along, guys. It's been a pleasure having you on the I'll Do the Talking podcast. I'm sure the watchers and listeners will find lots of top tips to make their day even more magical in and around that drinks and evening reception part. As is customary, give yourselves a wee plug. Where can people find you? Details, so Mark?
Cool. So you can find me on, I've looked at the camera, www.geekyinkcaricatures.co.uk. So you can certainly fill out a contact form there, and all my stuff's on there, or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all with the handle Geeky Ink Caricatures.
Wonderful. And Cammy?
Scottish Magician, so either cameronyoung.co.uk or Scottish Magician on Instagram, Facebook or TikTok at this moment in time, and you can find me there.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Thanks for joining us on this episode. I've been George.
I've been Caitlin.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.